Zebby's Little Audios. Once upon a moonlit night, in the heart of a lush forest, a curious young fox named Felix tumbled out of his warm and cozy den. His eyes glistened and twinkled with excitement. This was his first time alone, and he was very eager to explore the world beyond his familiar surroundings. He ventured deep into the enchanted woods, with each step of his paws paddling softly through the dirt and eventually a leaf-covered path. He kept walking and walking. The moonlight hit the path, creating a beautiful scene. He was captivated. Felix had never known such beauty before. He had never been allowed to take walks at night, but tonight he was exploring. As time passed and the moon rose higher into the night sky, Felix began to realize he had gotten himself a little lost. He began to panic. He fluttered in his chest. He didn't know how this happened. He thought he stayed on the path, but he soon found himself surrounded by the tall trees and the dark, dense forest. He began to feel fear as he heard owls above him and other creatures in the night. It began making it very difficult to think clearly with everything going on. Just as despair threatened to consume him, a gentle hoot caught his attention. Felix looked up into a tree and saw a nice little old owl perched on a nearby branch. Her golden, piercing eyes were gleaming with wisdom. She sensed Felix's troubles and gracefully glided down right in front of him. "Hello, little one. Are you lost?" her soft, gentle voice inquired. It was soothing like a lullaby. Felix nodded, trying to explain his predicament to the owl, but he kept fumbling over his words because he was nervous. The owl chuckled a little bit, smiled at him, and offered her guidance. "I will help you out of the forest. My name is Lona. What's yours?" "Felix. My name is Felix," Felix the fox had replied. With that, the two had set out and wandered even further into the forest. But now, Felix didn't feel alone and afraid, since he had just made a new friend who made him feel accepted. "With my keen eyes and knowledge of these woods, I will help you find your way back. But follow closely and do not wander off this path," Luna said to Felix. Her soft words and reassuring vows kept Felix safe. He felt like he was able to find his way back now, that he wasn't lost and alone. The two continued on together, journeying through this maze-like forest. Luna gracefully led the way. As they ventured forth, Luna introduced Felix to a friendly squirrel. The squirrel's name was Hazel. She possessed extraordinary knowledge of the flora and fauna in the woods. Hazel, with her bushy tail and mischievous twinkle in her eyes, shared secrets about the forest that she had gathered over the years. She spoke of the herbs that were growing along the trail. Some were dangerous, some you should never go near, but others provided healing, medicine. So if Felix ever wandered into the woods, he would know exactly which herbs were safe to eat and which ones he should not go near. The trio continued. They soon were met by a rabbit who introduced themselves as Willow. Willow was renowned for her agility and speed. She sensed Felix's urgency to return home and offered her guidance as well. Now, with Willow, Felix, Luna, and Hazel all together, Felix felt unstoppable. They continued. With their guidance, they dashed through the pathways that would have taken hours to traverse on their own. With their knowledge of the area and just overall enthusiasm, they continued forth. Brave. They soon came to an unfamiliar part of the forest. The trees were dead, lifeless. There wasn't any sound. Did they get further lost? No, couldn't be. They were following the path. So, where would they have gotten lost? They continued forth into the forest, and they felt uneasy. Luna, Hazel, Willow, and Felix were all alone in the woods with no one but themselves. "Oh dear, we've gotten even further lost," Luna said. "I surely knew the way," Hazel added. "Well, maybe we should just turn around and go back the other way," Willow suggested. The four of them turned around and began going the opposite way. But then were suddenly confronted by a large creature with glowing eyes and fangs too long to measure. It was a bobcat. "What are you doing in my part of the woods?" this bobcat said. Felix, frightened, scared, not knowing what to do, just quivered behind Luna. Luna looked at the creature and said, "I apologize, but we seem to have gotten ourselves lost. Do you know the way back out of this forest?" The creature began to move closer. "I am a bobcat. We eat creatures like you. But on this particular moonlit night, I am feeling rather generous, and I will guide you out of these woods and back to where you've come from." The four of them looked puzzled and confused. Why would this bobcat, of all creatures, help them? Was he going to gain something? Was it a trap? They all followed the bobcat out of the forest, who introduced himself as Bobby. Bobby the Bobcat. Bobby seemed to know his way around the forest more than everyone else did. Everyone followed closely behind this new friend they just made, Bobby the Bobcat. Bobby helped them traverse through the forest, and they overcame obstacles that seemed insurpassable. They would have never thought to go this way. They all could not shake the feeling that this was some kind of trick or trap. But why? Why would this Bobcat be willing to go so far as to hurt them? "Excuse me," Luna said. Bobby stopped and turned around. "Where exactly are we going?" Bobby smiled. "And why exactly are you helping us?" Luna added on. Luna, the brave big owl, did not want to continue any further if this was going to lead into something dangerous. Bobby stopped and he turned around and he looked. "Because I know exactly how it feels to be lost," Bobby said. "Once upon a time, I was lost, and some woodland critters helped me find my way back. Come to think of it, it was an owl just like you. And little fox, what's your name? Felix? There was also a fox there too, who at the time was larger than me. And he posed no threat to me whatsoever. Nor did I him. And this is the reason I'm helping. Because they showed me that not every creature was an enemy. Not every creature in these woods was a meal ticket. And sometimes you need to be brave and help." With that, everyone followed again, now feeling they believed Bobby. And sure enough, Bobby was correct. Felix, Luna, Hazel, Willow, they were all led out of the forest and to the safety of Felix's den. Thank you truly, everyone," Felix said, thanking Luna, Hazel, Willow, and now their new friend Bobby. "I appreciate your help. I won't go wandering again at night, not alone. And if I do, I know I'll have some friends to help me find my way back." And with that, they all gave each other a hug goodbye, smiled at each other, and went on their separate way. The end.